Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to break down three of the most common ways people invest their money: mutual funds, ETFs, and a special kind of fund called a REIT. We're going to pull back the curtain on how they work, and more importantly, what makes each one so different. That question really gets to the heart of it all. How is that even possible? It sounds almost like magic, right? But it's actually made possible by one incredibly powerful and surprisingly simple idea. And that big idea is pooling. It's the engine behind all three of these investment types. They take money from thousands, sometimes millions, of people like you and me, and they group it all together to do something one person could never do on their own. But look, it's not just about collecting cash in a big pile. It's about creating serious, collective buying power. Think of it like the ultimate group buy, but instead of getting a discount on a new gadget, you're buying stocks, bonds, or even entire skyscrapers. This is the structure that really opened up investing for everyone. And this whole concept is so powerful because it just knocks down three of the biggest roadblocks for any new investor right off the bat. First, instead of you having to pick and choose hundreds of stocks, bam, you get instant diversification. Second, you don't have to be a stock market genius because you get access to professional managers. And third, by buying in bulk, the fund pays way less in fees, and those savings get passed on to you. Okay, so how does this whole concept actually work in the real world? Let's start with the OG, the one that really pioneered this whole idea for the average person: the mutual fund. The best analogy for a mutual fund is a dependable, old-school community bus. It's got a set route, that's its investment strategy, and it only picks up and drops off passengers, that's you buying or selling, at one specific time each day. It's really built for the long, steady journey. And that once-a-day thing, that is absolutely key. Mutual funds are priced and traded just one time, every single day, right after the market closes. That single price is called its net asset value, or NAV. And this one feature pretty much dictates everything about how they're used. So this really shows you the huge difference in how much control you have. When you buy a stock, you can watch the price tick up and down second by second. But with a mutual fund, you put in your order at, say, 10 a.m., but you won't actually know the exact price you paid until after 4 p.m. It's a system designed to encourage long-term thinking, not quick trades. All right, now for the challenger, the disruptive kid on the block that totally changed the game. If the mutual fund is the dependable bus, well, the ETF is its modern, high-tech competitor. So if the mutual fund is the bus, think of an ETF as your own personal taxi. It's going to the same destination, a diversified portfolio, but you can hail it anytime you want during the day. You're in complete control of when you get in and out, and you know the price to the penny the moment you hit buy. The reason they can do this is right there in the name: exchange-traded funds. They're literally built to trade on a stock exchange, just like a share of Apple or Amazon. And this simple difference in their structure is the magic behind all their advantages. Not just flexibility, but also, as we'll see, being smarter about taxes. So, what's that really saying? It means it's not just about the stocks or bonds inside the fund. The very structure, the wrapper an ETF is built with, gives it an edge. The way new shares are created and redeemed behind the scenes is just more efficient, and that often means fewer taxable headaches for you, the investor. Okay, let's bring on our final player. This one is a real specialist, focusing on a completely different kind of asset. This is how you can invest in giant real estate projects without ever having to unclog a toilet. So yeah, a REIT, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, is a super specialized vehicle. It pools money from investors, just like the others, but it has one very specific mission: to invest in property that generates income. This is your ticket to owning a piece of the action in everything from giant office towers to shopping malls. And this number, right here, this is their secret sauce. By law, to keep their special tax status, REITs have to pay out at least 90% of their taxable income back to you, the shareholders. This usually comes in the form of dividends, and it's why so many people love REITs for generating a steady stream of income. And you might be picturing just office buildings, but oh no, it's so much bigger than that these days. Modern REITs own the actual backbone of our economy. We're talking about the data centers that power the internet, the cell towers for your phone, massive e-commerce warehouses, and even huge forests. Okay, time for the face-off. Let's put these three side by side and see how they really stack up. When you see it all in one place, it becomes super clear which tool is right for which job.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? You can see the mutual fund is simple, but it's less flexible and often not as great on taxes. The ETF gives you all that flexibility and tax efficiency, usually for a lower cost. And the REIT, well, it trades like an ETF, but it's playing a totally different game with its own tax rules and that direct line to real estate income.
So, okay, we've gone through all the details. Why does any of this really matter? Well, it matters because understanding these differences explains this huge, massive shift that's happening in the world of investing right now. I mean, for decades, mutual funds were king. No question. But that's changing. Investors are literally voting with their dollars, and their money's flowing somewhere new. This trend is so big that people are calling it the Great Divergence. And wow, the numbers don't lie. Just look at this. Since 2010, the money invested in ETFs has been growing at about 15% a year. As you can see, that's almost 3 times faster than the growth in mutual funds. It's a huge difference. So why is this happening? Well, the reasons are exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. On average, ETFs just tend to be cheaper. They're built to be more tax efficient. They give you the freedom to trade whenever you want. And they're even being used for all sorts of advanced strategies now. They really combine the best of both worlds. So at the end of the day, there's no single best fund. It's not about that. The real question is which one is the best tool for your toolbox. Your goals, how much time you have, and your personal strategy will tell you if you need the steady bus, the quick taxi, or the real estate specialist. Now you know how the tools work. The rest is up to you.